you've clicked the title, you know why you're here, but a few of us have decided to do a ridiculous thing and paramotor from one side of Australia all the way to the other. By a few of us, I mean three. That is myself, Andrew, Twitty and Scott Ryan. So this all came about because our Australian friend has wanted to do it unsupported for quite a while, and Twitty thought that I might be mad enough to join them. So for the last 6 months, the three of us have been planning our trip from the west coast to the east coast of Australia, and in the process, trying to get a Guinness World Record.
So how are we going to do it? Well, Andrew, Twitty and I are going to be starting in the UK, flying all the way over to Sydney before meeting Scott, and from there we'll be jumping in the car, travel all the way to Perth, stashing fuel and supplies as we go. Once we're there, we'll head up to the Overlander Roadhouse, and the drive alone should take us about a week. From there, we'll set up the motors and take off to fly over Steep Point, which is where our journey really begins. We'll backtrack over towards the Roadhouse before carrying on with the rest of the route and ending at Byron Bay. Hopefully with a little celebration when we get there. The whole journey from west to east is more than 5,000 kilometers, which is at minimum 100 hours of flying. The trip is registered with the Guinness World Records as the fastest crossing of Australia by paramotor.
So to do this trip, I got in touch with a paramotor company, and I'm very happy to say that I am now a team pilot for Fly Products. I'll be running with the Rider, a Polini Thor 202. That's going to be using a 140cm prop, and on top of all of that, I'm going to have the Foxy trike. So let's get this all set up and see what other kit I'm taking. So the reason I went with Fly Products is because they're generally so enthusiastic about the sport. For me, that was the number one thing. In addition to that, the Rider, the cage allows for a 140 prop, which is most efficient. It also houses the Polini 202, which has a 2.4 litres an hour at its best fuel consumption, which is one of the best on the market. The engineering in general is really quite good. So everything on the harness is fully adjustable. We've got Velcro on the back here that adjusts your height, different straps and everything to control how high you sit within the harness. The arms have different points, so you can really fine tune everything that you want on the harness for yourself. Another thing on the harness is that they're interchangeable pockets, and it's lightweight as well. So we can change the pocket here for a reserve, or a reserve for a pocket, or any which way, but I will be keeping it in this configuration for the flight because I obviously want a reserve and I obviously want more space. It's very easy to pack down, just some pit pins here, and that also makes it very easy to put onto the trike as well. So in general, I really like the motor and it's the best for the job. The only thing I've changed, and not because I didn't like it, I actually really like the Fly Product throttle because it allows you to take a wrap very easily along the bottom. The strap is positioned perfectly in relation to everything else. The one thing that was missing and why I've changed it is that this throttle has cruise control. This is the off-grid aviation one. I haven't actually flown it yet, but I will do soon. So keeping me up in the air and safe and lightweight is the Ozone Scirocco 3. Wait, change plan. Long story short, I am massively over the weight range. I was finally convinced to go for a new wing, a bigger wing. However, I'm in North Macedonia, and this means I had to send my girlfriend Zoe to pick up the wing from Barcelona, and that ended up being a 22-hour round trip. And I shouldn't be laughing because I'm definitely in the doghouse. But I have a new wing, and it is the Speedster 324, and that is what I'm going to be using for the trip. So back to the video. Protecting my head, Envolo helmet, the Bluetooth adapter. I've got one of the guys, Andrew, who's also got this helmet, but we will be using S-based frequency radios. So we're going to have the adapters there. I've got the GoPro mount so I can do more vlogs. Hopefully you'll follow along and we can capture the whole thing. On the right hand side of the paramotor, I'm going to strap this water bladder. In the left hand pocket, are all of my tools. So Leatherman cable ties, obviously Loctite if we have to say anything off. All of the tools that came with the motor, plus a couple of extra Allen keys. This is a prop repair kit. I am bound to be hitting some stones or anything on landing. So there's super glue, baking powder and sandpaper in there. That is a sewing kit. That is electrical tape for anything we need. Here are the spares. So I've got things like fuel bulb, spark plugs, air filter, starter rope, starter components, things that may go wrong, and service kits for the 100 hours that we're going to be flying. Here is a wing repair kit, so spinnaker tape, which is just wing repair tape. There's Brummel hooks, there's spare line, O-rings, all those little things that you might need to repair on the wing as you go. This is a very lightweight and very capable sleeping bag. It's the lightest weight that I could find for the temperatures that we're going to be seeing, and it's the Spark Ep.1. That is going to be in this weird little Bear Grylls bag that I'll be keeping under the paramotor, with half of the paramotor tent as well as the inner there. So this comes as one little package. You get your tent poles, your pegs, strap it around the cage, and we'll go through that one later anyway. So this is another Sea to Stomach product. It is an insulated airbed, and it goes with my little pillow as well, which actually locks in place. Look how small that is. Brilliant. These are my spare props. I'm bound to have an accident at some point, I'm sure. They're going to be attached to the trike somewhere. And then this is the Scout Adventure Bag. Incredibly useful bit of kit, designed for adventuring with paramotoring. It's got 2 compartments in the main thing, and then a third one to house all your electronics in place. In here is all of my electronic gear, 2 GoPros, 1 360, charging cables. I've got my solar battery pack here, all of the SD cards, all of the mics. This is all the spare clothing. I've got an extra t-shirt, thermal trousers, thermal top, jumper, spare socks. All of that is going to be in a waterproof bag inside the Scout Adventure Bag. So these are going to be the clothes that I'm wearing. I've got a lightweight waterproof jacket there. Here we've got the toiletries, so I've got anti-bac gel, wet wipes, toothbrush, toothpaste, P20 sun cream, incredible stuff, definitely going to be needing that. I've got anti-mosquito or bug repellent, whatever you want to call it, and then zinc tape for any blisters that might develop, or if we have an injury or shoulder pain, anything like that. So all of this kit packs up, is traveling with me for about 7 weeks, traveling with us, should I say, the 3 of us. So let's load it all up and I'll show you how I've stored it on there. Okay, so around the back we've got the BG bag. That's got all the paramotor spares in, and the outer tent and the sleeping bag. That's surrounded by the rider frame and the fuel tank and the Foxy frame as well, holding it in at the bottom. And on top of all of that, I've got a Velcro strap just because I want to make sure nothing goes into that prop. So, around the side, we've got a water bladder. That is 3 litres. Going to be filling that up wherever I can. Got this strap going through the bag connections there, and it's attached around the back of the reserve to the harness. The risers going over the top of the paramotor frame and the bag to make sure nothing gets in the way in that reserve. Hopefully we don't need to use it, just in case. Underneath here I've got the first aid kit, and also under there is going to be the wing bag. Obviously going to be flying, not going to be using that. The props, they're probably going to be mounted here. I just want to make sure that they're not going to get damaged. And then in this pocket here are all of my tools that I'm going to need. Underneath, that's where the bike bag's going, just Velcros onto the top frame. That's waterproof in itself, really happy with that setup. And then last but certainly not least, oh, actually, these bottles here are not going to be staying like that. That's going to be our 2 litres of oil as we're traveling around. I need to figure out how they're going to be mounted in there properly. Okay, so this is the paramotor bag, the adventure bag, and it simply connects with these quick links to the harness, And from here, I've got my cockpit. I've got everything I need in terms of electricals, food, access to, you know, extra clothing, everything like that, and snacks, clearly. And then if I'm coming into land or take off and I want a bit more clearance so I can see what's going on, I can simply hook this up and then be able to see what's going on below me a bit more. So that's everything on the paramotor. That's all where everything's going to be. Let's go fly it a bit more. Let's get some more hours on the engine, and then I'll speak to you in a bit. So I said go flying, but I'm not going to fly tonight. The weather's gusting. It's not very predictable. It's not worth it. I have flown the gear before, flown most of it set up. The only thing missing is the bike bag, but I'm not worried about that. And I've only got 2 days left. So I need to pack up everything ready to go, and I'm worried about the transit. I need to make sure that's really protected so nothing gets damaged on the way out there. So if you've made it this far, you either want to see how we progress on the journey, you want to see how we make it across Australia, you're either just into XC flying on the paramotor, or you actually want to see if we fail, or hoping we fail, which I hope isn't the case. Either way, I'm going to be setting up a website with live tracking. All the social media will be keeping you up to date with stories on Instagram, TikTok, all the like. So click those, follow those. And if you think there's anything that I've missed in my kit that you think is essential to this journey, write it down in the comments, let me know. If you think I'm taking too much, too little, I need this, that, whatever it is, let us know, or just give us some good energy, some good vibes in those comments. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll update you on the next one.